Tower of God has changed. But is that a good thing? Now, obviously, I am not the first and definitely won't be the last to mention, make a video on, and discuss this topic. But I want to put my 2 cents in on it in video form. So, here I am. So, what I mean by Tower of God has changed? Well, I'm sure you've heard other people say this, but Tower of God is no longer, about the mystery of the tower and climbing to the top. It has transitioned into much more of a typical battle shonen-y type story with extreme power scaling and this grandiose goal of defeating Jihad. Well, not that defeating Jihad, well, that's been the goal for a while, especially since, we started getting Thug be a prevalent part of the story, but again, you know what I mean. The story has transitioned from climbing the tower and getting up the floors and, the mysteries of everything going on within the tower to more of a, like I said, battle shonen. It's more action focused now than, being about the tests and the mystery. I just reiterated the exact same point about 4 times. Fucking hell. But you know what I mean when I say that. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Tower of God has become bad because it has become more of a typical battle shonen than what it started out as. Personally, I think what it started out as is better. However, I'm still very much enjoying where things are. There will be parts that I don't enjoy, for example, the cage, but I do still think Tower of God is an enjoyable story to read, and I will keep reading it, and I'm sure most Tower of God creators will keep reading it even though it has changed, at the very least until it becomes like utter shite, and even then I'm sure still some of them will keep reading it. Not that I'm saying it's going to become shite, but the thought's always there. So, the transition from mystery focus, climbing, the floors, the tests, the world, to battle shonen, and the world. The world of the tower is still the focus, and there are still mystery elements, but is more battle focused. When did this change happen? Well, for me, I'd say this change first happened with the end of the workshop battle, and the transition and lead up into the Hell Train. That is, I think, where Tower of God changed, where it started being less about the tests. Yes, there are some testy elements in that period of the Hell Train, but it starts transitioning more and more into battle shonen type stuff, and it's also where Balm starts to accelerate his power. Much more is during the Hell Train, like I've said, and I'm sure other people have said. The Hell Train is basically just a series of events for Balm to get really, really strong really, really quickly, at least in comparison to everybody else around him. And so that's why I think that the story started changing from the end of the workshop battle and in the lead up to, the Hell Train. I wouldn't say the workshop battle is when it changed, because there were still the tests and the trials during the workshop battle arc, and also the main focus of the workshop battle, the battle part. Season 1, which was very test focused and mystery focused, did have its battle scenes and its action, so you can't really say the workshop battle is the turning point. I'd say it's in the lead up to the Hell Train and the Hell Train where that change happened. But yeah. Now that Tower of God is much more battle shonen-y, it is somewhat, I don't want to say more predictable, but it's got a more, it's not really, it's still got, obviously it's got hype moments. Every battle shonen tends to have hype moments, but it's less, it doesn't really surprise, or I don't know if that's really the right way to put it. I'm not really articulating what I mean very well, but it's something that was there is gone, and I can definitely tell when I'm reading it that there's this certain aspect of the story that has faded out a little bit, and it's almost as if it's lost a little bit of the life that it used to have. The story, again, it's still good, I'm still really enjoying it, but it's lost something along the way. Now, do I think that Tower of God can transition back into being about the mystery and the tests and the flaws and stuff? yes, I do think it can, and I think it can rein its power system back in if Farm doesn't keep getting even more ridiculously powerful. Do I think it will? Not exactly. If you saw Monday's reading, you'll know that I'm getting into the nest, and one of the lines that ends the episode 51 is that little did the boy know that a battle was about to start that would spark a very long war, which implies to me that basically the rest of this story up until the end when they defeat Jihad will be shonen, battle shonen, you know, action focused for the most part. Maybe you can definitely squeeze some tests in here and flaw stuff if, for what, you know, say there's a point where they need to be on a higher floor, but there's no cheat way to get to that floor. There's no easy skip. There's no, for whatever reason, Huarian doesn't have a way of guiding them to that floor without doing the tests, and we get a focus on the tests again. Or you transition the focus to Wagnan and him having to climb on his own, because we haven't seen Wagnan for a while, and I want to see more of him, at least as of where I am. You could transition Wagnan and introduce some characters that with him and his the new party that he might have. Well, is he still with Rachel and her group? I can't quite remember. You know, you could focus on Wagner and him having to actually climb the tower, assuming he actually has to and doesn't also have a way of, you know, cheating his way up floors. And that could be an interesting focus, having a Wagner focused arc. Something I actually really want to see is a Wagner focused arc. But, yeah. Those are just my thoughts on the current state of Tower of God. It's still enjoyable, but obviously, it is different. And that's just the way it is. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? It's, well, neither. It falls somewhere in the middle. It's still, for as long as the writing is still, and the story is still enjoyable to read, it'll be somewhere in the middle. But, if the writing quality starts to show serious decay and decline, then I will probably say that it falls into the bad thing. But maybe the story could get better, the writing could get better from here, and then it'd be a good thing. Who knows? As things stand right now, it's neither good nor bad. It's just the way it is, and it's still an enjoy. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Like, sub, hit notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything I'm putting out. And, with all that said, I've been Animosity, you've been you, and I hope to catch you all next time for another video. Ta-ta. Bye now.